the buyer was really upsetting me on this one. I was about ready to just say forget it. Okay, we got a few orders to pull, actually 3 orders to pull, so let's get busy and pulling orders. Okay, first thing, we have a Black & Decker 18-volt drill, bin M. Okay, that should be right in here. And if you notice, I've got one here. I also put one in this one, but keep them separated. I put them in different bins. That way, if I put them all in the same bin, then you can easily make the mistake of pulling the wrong item and shipping it. So that's why I do that. So we've got this right here. Set this down. Okay, next thing we have to pull is one of the free magazines. This one's actually pretty good. That's going to be in bin 03. Set the phone down. All right, this thing's pretty heavy. I got to set the camera down. Okay. Keep most of the magazines in here, and we're looking for a Whitney Houston. Okay, not in this stack. And there we go, right there. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to try this one-handed. Yep, we don't want to crush the magazine. Okay, next item. I don't think I had a custom SKU on it. No. But if I remember where I put all my hats, could have put it in bin S2. Let's pull this down. It's actually a Red Hat Linux hat, and it's not in here. All right, let me turn the camera off. I got to find it, and I'll be right back. Okay, did locate it. It was in bin S2. I just didn't look close enough. Right there. So let's jump into the eBay office and see what the stuff sold for. Today is Tuesday, January 24th, and we have 3 orders going out today. First order we have going out is a thrift store item. If you remember, I bought that box of Black & Decker tools. This happens to be the second drill that I sold. This is another 18-volt. On this listing, if you notice, I put cordless drill, put the number, tool only, great shape. Most important, tool only. So that way they don't think they're going to go ahead and get a battery with it. This sold for $17.76. And the buyer is paying $8.65 in shipping. This next item going out, another one of these free magazines from my thrift store. This one is Whitney, The True Story. Looked at comps on this, and I did list this one up higher than the other ones. This sold for $11.53, and the buyer is paying $14 in shipping. The reason shipping is so high, this is actually going through eBay. This is actually going eBay international shipping. So next item going out, another free item. I actually picked this up. I went to a conference for my regular job, and the vendors were handing stuff out. I actually picked up this red hat. It is a trucker snapback style. Thought about keeping it, but then I decided to go ahead and list it. So into this for nothing. This sold for $17.76, and the buyer is paying $5.60 in shipping. Now, one thing about when I list hats, as you can see, I actually take different angles of the hat. Take it from the side, the back, the other side, the top, the inside of the hat. Show them that one, it's got the snapback. It is trucker style. And it's got the little red hat tag right there. Also, too, I showed the tag inside here. Now, if this was a used hat, what I would do a lot of times is I would show them up underneath here, where usually you'll see sweat stains. And so that way the buyer can actually see if there's sweat stains or not. Today's Thursday. We have a couple orders to pull, so let's get pulling. Okay, the first thing we have is a set of books going out. It's on shelf 4. And I believe it's these ones right here. All right, let's see if I can get these one-handed. All right. Whoa, I dropped them. Okay. Set these down. Okay, next thing to pull. This one actually, the buyer was really upsetting me on this one. I was about ready to just say forget it. But he finally came and agreed. I'll go over that when I go over the sale. Okay, it's a pair of men's shoes. It's in bin L. Okay, right here in front of us. Okay, it's these ones right down here. Oh, we're sticking on that one. There we go. Yep. Okay, take these in the eBay office. Today is Thursday, January 26th, and we have 2 orders going out today. First item we have going out, to thrift store item. It's these books. They are the Left Behind book series. These are 1 through 7. Did pay up for these. Paid $1 each of these, so cost of goods into all of these is $7. These sold for $23.10, and the buyer is paying $7.85 in shipping. Next item going out, another thrift store item. This was from that same thrift store, different time. It's a pair of these Magnati men's black leather weave tassel loafers. Paid $9 for these. Now this buyer originally came in and said all he could do was just 40. They were currently listed, I believe, for about 65. I said I could do 55. He said he couldn't do 55, he can only do 40, and told me good luck. Well, 24 hours later, he comes back in and he asked me if I'd take 50. I thought about it, and because he tried to lowball me before, I told him I'd do 55. So he came back again, said he could do 50 if that works. I said, text him again. I said I can do 55. And what I did is, because most of my listings are buy it now, I don't do or best offer. This one I went in and turned on best offers, and I turned it on for $55.01. So I sent that buyer an offer for the $55.01. He came in He bought the item, but then it took him about 2 hours to pay for the item. So I don't know, is this a return waiting to happen? Let me know your thoughts. When you get a buyer that buys something and it takes that long to buy, are those usually items that we end up getting returns on? We'll have to see. So these sold for $55.01 and the buyer is paying $8.80 in shipping. Today is Friday, January 27th, and we have 5 orders going out. First order going out today is a thrift store item. I'd actually in 2 different times picked up 2 different bags of the magic tracks. So what I decided to do is kind of put them all together, see how much I had. I was able to make 2 lots of over 10 feet. I did already box them up because this is how I shipped the last time I sold these. So I'm into both of those bags for just $2 each. Inside the bag there were some cars and it had the switch tracks. I decided to list the switch tracks separately and list the cars separately. So these are just the tracks. These sold for $24.28 and the buyer is paying $8.80 in shipping. Next order going out, another thrift store item. It's these wooden shoe stretchers. They are cedar. They were marked with Dillard's, but I did not put that up into the description because I didn't want to get a copyright strike. So I put 1 pair men's cedar wood wooden shoe stretch tree large. Picked these up for 50 cents. These sold for $12.14 and the buyer is paying $8.22 in shipping. This next item going out, it's an item I actually picked up at an auction that was going on about a mile from my house. But a box of these Sylvania Super Saver light bulbs. Box had 8 of them in it. Have sold some of these off already. These 2 sold for $21.66 and they are going free shipping. This next item going out, free item. My son had actually given me a couple hats. This happens to be one of them. It's the Kansas City. It is a City Hunter authentic headwear. It is a size large. Put KC Royals fitted baseball cap hat size large, structured flat bill and overprint. And as you can see, it's got KC all over it. This sold for $17.36 and the buyer is paying $5.60 in shipping. Last item going out, it's an item I actually picked up on high bid. I've been selling a lot of the die-cast cars off, the bigger ones, and finally got to listing all the little Hot Wheel ones. I went and lotted most of those together into a big lot, but there's a few I pulled out. This was one of them. Team Caliber, NASA Winston Cup Champion. This is number 17, Matt Kentz, if I pronounce that correctly. Number 17, DeWalt Racing. It is brand new. That entire NASCAR haul I had paid $36 for. We've since have been in the profit for well over a year. This sold for $5.06 and the buyer is paying $4.90 in shipping. Today is Monday, January 30th, and we have 11 orders going out today. First item going out is a thrift store item. I'm into all these books. There is 19. These are the A to Z mysteries. Loaded all these up together, meant to them for $0.10 each, so that's $1.90. These sold for $25.46 and the buyer is paying $5.75 in shipping. Next item going out, another thrift store item. It's these, dang it. Next item going out is another thrift store item. I bought an entire dish set for $6. Bought these 3 bowls together. These are the International Stoneware made in Japan. This is the Heartland Village. These sold for $14.41 and the buyer is paying $8.80 in shipping. Next item, a free thrift store item. I get magazines for free there. Got this Ultimate Guide to Taylor Swift. This is a multi-quantity listing. This sold for $3.80 and the buyer is paying $10.65 in shipping. Now the sex night. Now the sex night. Now the sex night. Now this next item I got at an estate auction. I had won some lots on high bid. I went to pick them up. They had an estate sale going on there. So I went through it, found a few things. I found two of these cameras. This is vintage Revere 8 range 8mm movie camera. It's a model 81. Did pick up two of these. I wouldn't suggest picking these up unless you can get them fairly cheap. I'm into these for $5. They don't sell for all that much. This sold for $13.56 and the buyer is paying $8.80 in shipping. This next one is an RE item. I lighted two of these new rope away PM together. Minted these for $5 each. The cost of goods is $10. These sold for $32.26 and they are going free shipping. These are wide enough. They'll go out at an 8-ounce rate. You've seen me sell these before. These are the Vintage Enoch Wedgwood Tungsteel Blue Heritage Onion Dinner Plate. These were the last two that I had, so I made a lot of two. These sold for $20.36 and the buyer is paying $11.70 in shipping. Not sure if you can hear that noise, but I got my grandkids upstairs and they're running back and forth. So let's go ahead and move on. Picked up about 30 or so die-cast cars on a high bid haul. I was into that lot for $36. This sold for $12.71 and the buyer is paying $8.22 in shipping. This die-cast car is Kenny Wallace number 81. It is 1996 edition. This next item, a thrift store item. They had a half day there, so I had seen these before, so it was half price. I decided to go ahead and pick them up. It's these gliding. They are brand new sealed. So I lighted all three of these together. It's Absolute Abs, Cardio Blast, and Ultimate Buns and Legs Workout. So cost of goods in all three of these is 75 cents. These sold for $11.86 and the buyer is paying $3.65 in shipping. This next item is actually another high bid item. I had picked up a bunch of dishes. This happened to be in it. It says Frank Oma, $2.25. Up in the description, I put vintage Frank Oma, woodland moss, 225, 9-inch footed leaf dish, planter / platter. This sold for $12.71 and the buyer is paying $7.64 in shipping. Now this next item, this I actually picked up at a garage sale. I did test it. And when I do VCRs, as you can see up here, I include a blank VHS tape and a set of RC cables. So into this for $2. This is a vintage 1987 Emerson VCR 755. This sold for $67.11 and the buyer is paying $17.29 in shipping. Last item we have going out is another set of these Nerope away. Again, into these for $5 each. Cost of goods is $10. These sold for $32.26 and they are going free shipping. Okay, you want to see what we do at night? This is what resellers do. Rechanging the trash can. We don't have janitors to change our stuff out. Little behind the scenes.